All right, so this was a relatively simple code challenge, and the goal is very simple. Given that we've got a function called who's paying, and we pass in an array of names, like this one, our function should be able to pick out a random name from this array and be able to return the output that one of these people is going to buy lunch today. So let's see how we might tackle this. Now, in order to pick out an item from the array, we would tap into the array and we would use a square bracket to select an item. So if we said square brackets 0, then that's going to pull out the item at position 0, which is the first one. And if we did names at position 4, then that's going to be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's going to pull out the last item from the array. So now we basically need a random number that is in the range of 0 to 4 if the input was this long. But we don't know how long the input could be, right? It could be an array of names as long as my arm. So given that we don't know that information, let's first work that out. Let's create a variable called number of people, which is going to be equal to names.length. And this is going to calculate in this array that we got passed, how many names are there, right? Because once we've got that information, then we can work out a random person's position, right? So we could say that the random person position is equal to math.random, which is going to generate a number between 0 and 1, and not including 1. And then we can multiply it by the number of people. Then we would get a range of numbers from 0 to 0.99999 recurring. So now if we multiply it by the total number of people, so the number of items in this array, so in this example we would have 5. So 0 multiplied by 5 is going to be 0, but 0.99999 multiplied by 5 is going to become 4.99999. So now all we have to do is use the math.floor to cut off everything that's at the end of the decimal place, and then we get our range 0 to 4. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to wrap everything inside a math.floor, and now this random person position should be a random number between 0 and the total number of people minus 1, giving us all of the indices that we need to get each item in the array. So now all that's to do is to pick out the random person. And to do that, we tap into the list of names, use our square bracket, and pass in the random person position. Now that we've got our random person, all that we have to do is provide this output. So let's return this output, and we're going to return the random person plus the string is going to buy lunch today! Exclamation mark. Now remember to add the space between the random person's name and the rest of the sentence. And now we've completed the challenge and we're ready to check our solution, and all going well, it should work. And if you run this through Replit or through the Chrome snippets tool, you should be able to see that each time you run this code and you pass in a different array or the same array, it should give you a random name from that list.